addition to the proposed ordinance change? Hearing none, we will now close the public hearing. We will reopen the city council meeting, and we'll ask for a motion. Got a motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? Now, we're going to need to call the roll on this, I believe, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, if you still can raise your hand when Blake calls your name, or you can say aye in Bill's case.
Councilman Brown. Yes. Councilman Jones. Councilman Edwards. Yes. Councilman Griggs. Councilman Davis. Ordinance passes.
Thank you very much.
At Morris Bank, we understand that your personal finances and banking experiences can be stressful. We also know that it doesn't have to be that way. That's why for over 60 years, we've dedicated ourselves to providing common sense banking to people just like you. We work hard to combine the latest online mobile technology and top-notch customer service that allows us to do just that.
We realize our customers have choices, but what sets us apart is the personal service that we provide that they may not receive at larger institutions. We like to make you feel at home, and we like to make the process as easy as possible when you're banking with us.
But we're not focused on helping just our customers. We are equally dedicated to supporting the community we are a part of. Just this year alone, we've logged thousands of community service hours and provided significant financial support to the communities we serve. We want to make sure you have the best banking experience possible. Come see us or give us a call to find out what makes Morris Bank different, because we're banking on you.
Okay, item number 12 is the discussion and or action of a resolution to extend the leave provided under the CARES Act until March 31st, 2021. Mr. Jones, would you like to go over that?
Yes, sir. Rescue 2, a resolution by the Mayor and Council of the City of Dublin to extend the benefits of paid employee leave under the CARES Act, to authorize administration of said leave, to provide for an effective date, provide for an expiration date, and for other lawful purposes.
Okay, you have, excuse me, I lost my paperwork here. Okay, you've heard the, is that staff recommendation, Lance?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right, so we just need to approve the resolution, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Got a motion by Mr. Davis and a second by Mr. Griggs to approve the resolution. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor either raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you to our employees too. Okay, the next item is a discussion and or action on board appointments. As you know, there's a good many at the first of the year. Most of these are reappointments with a couple of additions or replacements. I'll go over these with you, and then Heather Browning will, if you approve these recommendations, then Heather will get a list put together. She and I will look and make sure it's correct, and we'll get a copy out to everybody as soon as possible. Okay, first one is, as you know, unfortunately, one of our great educators passed away this past week, Miss Bernice Myers, and she was also on the library board, which is a very important board that she served so well on. And I asked her good friend and former council member Julie Drigger if she would go in and serve in her term, and she said she would. The other lady that is up for another great educator is Laura Irving, and she will be also has said she would reserve. On the Recreation Authority, We have our joint appointment. The county has already approved Jack Walker as our joint appointment, and so we would need to approve him as well. And we also have our Tiffany Stanley that would need to be reappointed for a 3-year term. On planning and zoning, we have David Milo Smith is coming off, and I'll ask that you replace him with Mr. Clint Wooden, who's got some P&Z background. On zoning appeals board, we've got Mr. Tim Lake and Mr. Nelson Carswell III that I'd ask you to reappoint. On the historic review board, I'd ask you to reappoint Mr. Clemus Ricks, Charlie Garbett, and Marshall Jackson. And let me get the page flipped here. On the Martin Luther King Committee, Elder Dixon has requested that we approve the same people that are on there now. On the International Committee, they've asked that we leave everyone on that committee. That committee has not been active due to COVID, so we'll just wait till after COVID and look at that. On the Dublin Lawrence Tourism, that's not a board we appoint, but Councilman Brown asked me to update y'all and say that Miss Jennifer Schaefer would not be representing the chamber and that Tracy Morgan would take her place. And then on the Dublin Lawrence County Land Bank Authority, I talked to Mr. Kite and Mr. Davis about these, and these are all reappointments. The Land Bank Authority is really gaining steam now, and I think they're doing a great job. So we didn't want to, a lot of these are 1- and 2-year terms, and we didn't want to change any of that. So we are reappointing Michael Maffett, Jay Studstill, Nicole Herndon, Matt Sweat, and Marlo Harris. And then on the Youth Council Commission, the 2 youth liaisons, they have 1-year appointments, and that's Devon Peacock and Tagwa Ali. If you are okay with those, I ask that you, I would like to request that you make a motion to approve these. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. And then on the council committees, I also did not ask anyone to change. We've got, it takes a year or two to gain experience on these committees, and I think nobody's been on one real long, but on finance and license, I'd like to ask Councilman Davis, Councilman Gerald Smith, and Councilman Bill Brown to continue to serve on that. On the Housing Authority and Southside Revitalization, I'd like to ask Councilman Chris Smith to serve on that. On Public Safety, Councilman Curtis Edwards to continue serving. On Economic Development, I'd like to ask Councilman Jerry Davis to continue serving. And on the Personnel Committee, Councilman Benny Jones, Councilman Paul Griggs, and myself. And then on Downtown Development, Councilman Bill Brown would be our liaison. International Committee, Councilman Gerald Smith would be our liaison. Community Development, which is deals with dilapidated houses, general cleanup, and monitoring code enforcement, which I've got to stop a minute and say that there's a lot to be done, but there has a lot that's been done in the last year with that, thanks to staff and council working together closely on that. And I'd like to ask Councilman Paul Griggs, Councilman Benny Jones, and myself to continue with that. On Youth Council and Teen Court, Councilman Chris Smith, and on Public Works, Utilities, and Licensing, Councilman Benny Jones. And I appreciate y'all being willing to serve on those committees.
It's really hot outside, and the deals are even hotter with the City of Dublin Natural Gas. How would you like a free 40-gallon hot water heater plus free gas installation? It's easy. Just pick up the phone and call Brad Grimes with the City of Dublin Natural Gas, 277-5048, and get a free hot water heater and free installation. The City of Dublin Natural Gas, saving you money every single day.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
That brings us to citizens' comments. Are there any citizens that would like to address council tonight? Yes, sir. Yep, gotcha. Give me 1 second, Mr. Walters. Let me do what I need to do up here. And if you would, state your name where the council, they can see you, but we need it for the record. And you're aware of our, I know you probably don't need it, but you're aware of our 5-minute rule there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Good evening. I'm Kenny Walters. We have been looking at and talking about Chris Johnson was kind of the leader that had us as a spokesperson for talking about the monument. I complimented the council about appointing the race relation task force, which I thought was a great job. But we are disappointed with the council not going along with the majority recommendation from the race relation task force. As we understood that our majority of that task force really wanted the statute to be moved from downtown Dublin. The compromise that someone came up with, it was not acceptable in our community. It was a noble thing, and we were really glad to see y'all recognize one of our great business leaders. But it wasn't what we was looking for as far as our community, as far as NAACP. If you really want to help our community, you can help our community in education, employment, housing. There's a lot of ways that this task force can help our community in a form of race relations where we can get on a lot better in the city of Dublin. So we was kind of disappointed because we was told that y'all was going to have some public hearings and let the public talk about it and discuss it. Maybe I missed the public hearings, but we really was disappointed in the recommendation that came out of council as pertains to the monument. But we also are disappointed with some things that's going on in the city of Dublin about employment. In 2021, we still have employees of the city of Dublin who are afraid to speak up on wrongdoing because people retaliate against them. I thought this happened back in the 60s. I thought we was past that in our city. That an employee cannot have a legitimate complaint and not be retaliated against. So we are very concerned about that. We are concerned, and we've talked with a few people